something better.
Welcome back to Two Dudes Watch Cartoons, the podcast where two dudes, that is us, watch cartoons. My name is Evan.
And my name is Alex, and today we got a fun one for you. And I, as a resident hater of things going on in the world, we all need some fun. We need some lightheartedness. Today, we're coming at you with Disney Plus's newish series that they dropped.
Newest.
Newest.
Yeah.
Wonder Man. It's a Marvel TV show, which, if I didn't tell you that, you might not have known.
As you may have gathered from our special edition theme song, not a cartoon.
Mm-mm.
It is a live-action series.
We count the comic origin, though. This is a long-standing tradition over the 6 years here.
Everything is cartoons.
Everything goes back to cartoons.
But if you've listened to the podcast for any amount of time, you probably know we, along with a lot of, I would say, the Marvel nerd geek fandom, people who have a vested interest in the superhero category, generally the consensus has been that Marvel television, Marvel content in general, has been down in the dumps. People are losing interest. Box office returns are, dwindling. I won't say dwindling, but not quite as substantial as they once were.
They've doled back their release schedule from what it once was, which is a clear indicator of
Kevin Feige, Bob Iger came out with a statement saying they're going to focus on quality over quantity.
Boy, was he not kidding when they dropped all 8 episodes of this Wonder Man at one time. What do you think about that right out of the gate?
It's been a while since I watched the show, but now that I'm thinking about it again, now getting ready to discuss, there is lots I want to say about this show. At a glance, I think that move was perceived by a lot as a slight to it.
Yes.
But I would contend that might have been the smarter play.
We, my friend, are on the same page.
The classic Netflix episode dump. But before we go further,
please, take me back.
Just the macro environment, interest in the superhero genre. Where were you personally? How are you personally coming into this television show?
Marvel TV has always been a bit of a huge hit or miss. Even into the days back, hearkening to like Netflix Marvel TV, you're either getting Daredevil or you're like getting, Iron Fist. And so, or you're getting like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So this is not a new issue to them. It just all happens to be much more condensed and in one spot in Disney Plus. But you have things like WandaVision. You have things like Loki. These are all-time properties. So we tend to want to poop on Marvel TV in specific, even though the movies themselves also are lacking. But the TV shows right now are getting back to something that you and I praised Marvel on when it first started. Something that you and I both loved about Marvel back in the day was all of these stylistic takes on different superhero stories, where now they have sort of melded into this one genre of a superhero movie. So something that, when you look at like WandaVision, highly stylized, Loki, highly conceptual, really meta timeline. So these ones that stand out are the ones that we're looking for. And I think Wonder Man slots perfectly into the pantheon of just like knocked out of the park Marvel TV shows. And so that's for the TV. So my faith in Marvel TV is pretty low to begin with. But then even the movies, Fantastic Four to me should have been a slam dunk out of the park. And by the end of our podcast, we were really let down. I think we came into the podcast more hype. And by the time we ended, we were like, it was just fine. And so this, though, in like all regards, Wonder Man is what I want more of from Marvel.
Yeah.
This is... Yeah, go ahead.
But going into it, were you excited to watch it? Was it did it feel like a chore?
It felt like a chore. I really like the main actor He's honestly the only reason I gave this any sort of a shot. And, well, I will say, you started watching before me, and you said, hey, this is actually pretty good. And I will say, I finished before you. That's how into it I was. I started it, and I was like, whoa, I gotta keep going. I was hooked pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, star of the show, the titular Wonder Man himself, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II?
The second.
The second. I didn't
Not
realize
Junior.
this. Not Junior. But this is his third comic book property.
I'm so glad you've said this. Please, run through them.
We got Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. His last superhero foray was as the character Black Mantis in the Aquaman series.
I think he had one that was more recently.
Well, Aquaman, I guess Aquaman 2 probably came out. I don't know the exact one. But
with 2, you're right.
last time he suited up, he was Black.
He was Black Manta.
Black Manta, yeah. And a villain in Aquaman. I haven't seen the second one, actually. First one, it was
Aquaman.
Okay. It was kind of campy. Yeah.
You love that movie.
It was a bad movie, but it made $1 billion, like another franchise I know. But before those, I want to say 2020, 2021, he played Dr. Manhattan in HBO's Watchmen. And I had totally forgotten about that performance.
Hell fucking yeah, he did. Without 2019 Watchmen, I don't go into this property maybe at all. I love this actor.
And actually, I think before seeing either of those, he had a role in the Netflix show. I don't even remember what it's called, but it was about, it was set in like the Bronx. It was a show about the transition from disco to like 80s rap. Yes.
The Get Down. I got it. I remember. He's in that. We loved the Get Down.
He was the disco guy.
Get down on it. Yeah.
And he was really good.
Oh my God. Yeah, I remember it now. Oh my God.
Yeah. And so I've been loving this guy's performances. And this is just more consistent with like of those, Aquaman is probably the weakest, like not even performance, because I think he does fine as an actor in it, but like the weakest story in those separate properties.
Low-key, I love Black Manta as a villain too. So that's so funny. Oh my God, that's so wild.
So he plays Wonder Man. He stars opposite Sir Ben Kingsley.
Dog, hold on, wait. This is gonna be a huge. We're gonna spend 9 hours on this alone. Okay, wait, go. Ben Kingsley. This is his third Marvel property he has been a part of.
Yeah, I forgot he was in Shang-Chi. I
That's
try to erase that movie from my memory.
Stop, bro. I mean, it's a big plot point. You kind of need to know the whole Shang-Chi of it all to understand what he's doing here, kind of.
Yeah. He reprises his role as the Mandarin, and they get into all the bad optics of it.
Dude, this to me is the craziest decision Wonder Man could have made. Because on the surface, this looks like pure desperation at universe connectivity. Right?
And so,
like, this looks desperate to me.
And yeah, the connective thread is this series, as well as Shang-Chi, are both directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who's directing the upcoming Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, Brand New Day.
I got more hope for that movie than I did after this series.
Because, okay, here's the thing. I was unsure about Destin Daniel Cretton after Shang-Chi. I think
You're a Shang-Chi hater.
And maybe that's less to do with the director as it is to do with just the Marvel of it all, of that movie, and the big Marvel ending. It has the same third act problems as WandaVision, which people love as a show, and then the final act devolves into just CGI, whatever. And so I was a little uncertain coming into this series, but the connective thread is Ben Kingsley being in both of these properties, Marvel properties, and so while making Shang-Chi, because Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin, is like comedic relief in that.
Yes, for sure. Yes.
And he's like, wouldn't it be fun to make a series about this character and try to like hack it in Hollywood? And separately, someone else at Marvel was like, we should make a Wonder Man series set in Hollywood because the character's background is.
Is this true, or you're making this all up?
No, this is from the Wikipedia. I heard this from Kevin Feige himself.
Oh, this is amazing.
And so, and so like those got amalgamated into this one like buddy comedy thing of two actors hacking into Hollywood. But the flip, and I think according to Wikipedia, was Kevin Feige's idea, was like the Wonder Man character origin was like a superhero who happens to be an actor, and like Kevin Feige's take on it was like, what if we did a guy who just wants to be an actor, but the main obstacle to that is his superpowers, which is a fun and interesting take and basically the premise of this show.
We can get into that more, but what a refreshing thing for Marvel, where from 2008, they have said, fuck secret identities. It is very fun to get someone finally giving a damn about their secret identity and like hiding things, because it is such, it gives weight to scenes that don't have weight sometimes. When he's hiding, there's a whole episode where he's got to chase someone down who saw him do something on camera. Yeah. We don't get that sort of stuff anymore, and I miss it. It's so good. I love it. I think we need to talk about the Ben Kingsley of it all, because this is, like I said, for all intents and purposes, it looks like such a stunt casting. It looks like desperate, but he is one of the strongest parts of this whole thing.
Ben Kingsley is like an actor's actor, like
for sure. And the fact he's done three Marvel,
he's been knighted for his acting capability.
And he's done he's in more Marvel movies than Shang-Chi. Think about that. He's done more Marvel movies than Shang-Chi.
Based on acting ability alone. But like, what a random character draw. Because like Iron Man 3 was the weakest point of that trilogy, right? I would say. Yeah. It's not like people were
and the Mandarin's not even
ravenous for the
Yeah. And so it wasn't like in Shang-Chi, he corrects the Mandarin and makes him a Chinese figure in Shang-Chi's dad. And so to do that, he needed to be like, well, Ben Kingsley was just an actor.
Yeah.
And so what becomes this, like, I don't even know how to describe this. What becomes just this gag for Shang-Chi in a way to rewrite, to make it more comic accurate, becomes such a fascinating and interesting story where he is this disgraced actor looking to make his way back into Hollywood. What's so interesting about this is we get it from we get novice, naive, new Simon Williams, who's trying to break into Hollywood, and we get Trevor, who's also trying to break into Hollywood, but he's already done it. He's been an actor. He's done it all. He needs redemption, and Simon needs to prove himself. It makes for such a beautiful buddy cop thriller, secret, and it's what's so crazy is all of that we're talking about too. There's like maybe 2 or 3 action moments in all 8 episodes.
So I gave you my spiel to get you to watch the show. What's your 1 to 2 sentence pitch?
This is a superhero show. This is a TV show about a struggling actor who happens to have superpowers and needs to hide that for insurance purposes so he can get cast in a movie. That's my description of this.
Yeah.
Point blank, period.
Yeah. Accurate. And I think that's the strength of this show is that the Marvel of it all has very little to do with it.
It's the background.
There's 1 or 2 obligatory things. They never stop and look at a thing just to point out that it's a Marvel.
What did you notice? I can only think of one off the top of my head.
I mean, they're like the powers as an insurance liability thing is like they have to make reference to that. There's the Department of Damage Control.
Yeah. They mentioned Sam Wilson's Captain America, and I thought it was funny. He goes, "He's just a guy who throws a shield, right?" I just love stuff like that. I love stuff like that.
But I think so. This is under the Marvel Spotlight banner.
Boo!
Which I don't really know anything about. Like Echo, I think is the only other one under this, which I've never seen.
This was designed as a you don't need to watch this type deal, but shouldn't it all technically be a you don't need to watch this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So boo to that and boo to whatever they're trying to push there.
Who knows?
I pay no attention to it. Poppycock, get out of here with that bullshit.
I think that's like part of the appeal is like it's supposed to be a little more removed from.
And it definitely is. And that's part of the charm.
Works.
That
works so well.
Yeah.
You gave your spiel. Like at its core, I think it's like a buddy comedy about 2 struggling actors trying to make it in Hollywood. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know it's Marvel. You don't need to even know there's superpowers.
No, you really you do eventually, but you don't need to know that going in.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. maybe like we were theater nerds in high school, but like
Dude,
that.
I can't tell if that is part of the appeal. Go on.
Man, I'm so invested, man, and I think there's some people have drawn similarities to Atlanta.
Yeah.
The absurdist show, but it's about these artists who are like trying to make the economic reality, like where art meets commerce, kind of like the struggles they're in, and like all the problems that come from that, and like that's very similar to what this is. Is like there's an episode where he goes to an audition. There's an episode that's just called this, like the self tape, and he's just running around town trying to find a quiet place to do a self record to submit an audition for a role he doesn't really want, but he's got to do as a favor.
Dog,
like,
wait, can we
it's
talk
all like
about
situational comedy like that.
It is. Can we talk about how absurd it is that there are places in LA that are just self-tape studios? That's outrageous to me.
Yeah,
that's outrageous.
Yeah, that's stuff I don't, average viewer doesn't understand, and like they like explain the realities of this world that none of us are that familiar with it. He's like, yeah, and they mention it's like a result of like after the pandemic, or maybe they don't mention that directly, but like self tapes became a thing because of like the pandemics and not being able to go to auditions, and like
I think they said the blip.
Yeah,
I'm fucking with you. I know that would make you mad. I'm fucking with you.
Yeah.
I really like that it doesn't fully glamorize this life. It really gives you what it is. And like you're saying, sort of that Simon is not doing this for the paycheck. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I love the craft. And the show does such an amazing job of showing you why it means so much to Simon, what it actually means to him. They don't just tell you like, hey, movies and acting are important to Simon. They show it through the flashbacks with his dad and taking him to the Wonder Man movie and like skipping school because he's getting bullied and then his dad passes away. And so like it means so much to him, and they do a good job of like show, don't tell. And I think one thing that's really benefits from 8 episodes, most other Marvel TV shows have 6.
Yeah,
and
they don't have enough juice.
They don't, Wonder Man had the juice, dude. So I think what you're saying about like the average, like we get these slice of life episodes where he's running around trying to do a self tape. We get the one episode solely dedicated to the audition at his house. Like there's these episodes that can exist on their own because, and back to what we were saying before, the reason I think they maybe dropped it all in one day, it's because the pacing's a little off, and you kind of need to run with the pacing. But I think if they released it week by week, some weeks people would be like, I'm out on this show, man.
Let's talk about the release schedule, or lack thereof. So everyone pointed to this as a slight, and that was my initial perception as well. Like generally,
you want to milk
like
2 months of
the
content.
weekly release does work for shows like Game of Thrones and like Succession, and like they get a lot of buzz because they build suspense every week. This one, I don't know that there's that familiarity or hype going into it, and I think had they not dropped this whole series, maybe that point just in itself creates enough discussion and people to see enough of it at once for it to ripple out and have the effect of like people talking about it like, oh, you have to catch this. Like,
yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that not to be like the companies know more than us, but they knew something we didn't about how this would work, for a 2-month release versus just dropping it in one day. And I know I was really glad that I never had to wait for an episode. And so I'm sure people opening day felt the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like
the show really builds.
Tickled. Yes, it builds. Oh, man, it's like paced very well in that like each episode leaves you with just enough suspense, but like I don't know that without all of the hype concentrated into that initial weekend, like people might have fallen off. People might not have stuck around for all 8 episodes.
Are you ready for this? The lack of his power use, I think, would have really felt like they were edging the audience there. They were like, oh, look, he might do it. Oh, he didn't do it.
I think that's my other biggest gripe about the series, though, is it's not even about the series. It's about how people are consuming the show or like how people are discussing it online. Like half, I don't know, very anecdotal. Half of what I see is this is Marvel's best show
ever.
Some of the best stuff Marvel's put out. And I agree.
Yeah.
The other half is he a mutant? He doesn't use his powers enough.
Not you
And I want
taking
those people.
my question that I had for you at the end.
But it's like that ticks me off. Like there's so much more at play with this. Like I know it's just a Marvel Disney product, but like this does transcend into the realm of art for me.
I am totally with you that this is art first, then it is a Marvel property. I know it's not a great comparison, but this is how I felt when Daredevil season 1 was coming out. You know what I mean? I was like, this is a superhero show, but that is so the background of it all, if that makes sense. And for all intents and purposes, Simon is not a hero. You know what I mean? He's just a guy with powers. And so it's really fun to follow someone in this world who, like, if you're looking at the D&D chart, like, we're following mostly like true good, like chaotic good, like, you know what I mean? We're following the good guys. Like, he's a truly neutral person. He wants something for himself. He needs to prove to himself that he is a good enough actor to do it, and he wants that. But when it comes to like using his powers, he does whatever the fuck he wants with them when he can control them. That's the part we maybe have left out here. He's not the best at controlling them. Something that's really interesting. His powers, I think we all notice, are very in tune with what he's feeling and his emotions. It's kind of ironic he's an actor, where he's got to tap into emotions and feelings of that such.
And they also play into this with the themes of the show a little bit. There's a very prominent scene where he has a conversation with his ex at the bar about hiding, having to hide who he really is. She sort of hints like they dated and he never told her he had powers, and she hints at knowing a secret. And there's these sort of layered, veiled conversations about like, this could be queer representation. This could be like so many other things, like the through line of the actor having to, or the black actor having to like repress,
hide who
and
he is.
smooth out, hide like who and how he really is to be palatable for Hollywood. It goes throughout this show.
And we haven't talked about it, but Doorman has a bit of that Hollywood use them for what they're worth type themes. So I love that sort of feeling of like, for a black actor making himself digestible for the audience, not being able to truly be himself. Granted, we do see his powers like totally wreck shit, but the metaphor is still very strong and really good.
Yeah.
I love this shit. I can't, like the number, it's so nuanced, and it's not stuff, like I said, they're just spewing at us. It's stuff we pick up on, and it's stuff we have to infer. And he's such a good actor. I know that's an underrated part of this, but acting as an actor, he is phenomenal.
It's funny too, because the series starts off and he's sort of the same throughout, but Simon is an unlikable actor because he's like difficult to work with. He gets fired from what's the
American
FX
Horror
show?
Story.
American Horror Story in World. He gets fired from that show because he's so difficult. He's like a background actor.
He's dying in his one scene. He's dying, and he's
asking about motivations, what's in the text. He's trying to rewrite stuff.
He needs a
And
book.
it's
He's
so
like, well,
funny,
I would definitely have this book. And they're like, it doesn't fucking matter, dude.
Yeah.
He's like, I think it matters.
Yeah.
Oh, that shit was so funny to start out. And because he is so in his head about it all going perfectly. He's like, it's like perfect is the enemy of good enough type deal. Like he can't even get the job done because he's overthinking everything too much.
Yeah. It has the same wit about it and the industry as like something like the studio. Granted, it's not as, like whiplash fast with quips and jokes as Seth Rogen's comedy, orgy of superstars. But like, this is like the industry commentary is so spot on and like very funny, even for people like, I don't work in that industry, but it's like, it's very expertly done.
It is very much like the studio in that regard, except the studio's maybe a bit of like a cynical look at the industry, where this one kind of ends on a bit more hopeful of a note about it. It's very earnest. The hard work can get you there. If you're the man for the job, you're the man for the job type deal. So I love all of that, though. I think that's a great comparison. What's crazy is they actually had this filmed, I don't know how long, But they've had this film for a while, and this was part of that slowdown release. And so this was supposed to come out a long time ago. And so this was actually made before the studio, like ever. This was not inspired by the studio in any way. And so I find that so interesting. And I think it's really nice getting a look at the industry poking fun at itself in an earnest way, like you were saying.
A lot of people praise this movie for like looking like an indie film too. And I think that harkens back to like Destin Daniel Cretton. So what I know him from, I've seen Short Term 12, which was a 2017 movie that had Brie Larson. And now I'm looking at his next film, The Glass Castle, which also has Brie Larson. So I guess, I mean, those things probably primed her for a career with Marvel and set him up. But like Wonder Man strips away all that like big budget pretense, and it's just like two actors bopping around Hollywood, no big set pieces, with a great script. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go through some of the highlights. In the beginning, he's real down on his luck. He gets dumped. He gets fired from American Horror Story, and that's when he meets Trevor in the theater. Let's just talk about this moment. So we see a couple times when when Simon is down, doesn't know what to do, doesn't know where to go, he goes and watches a movie.
Wonder Man in the Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe, I should clarify it. Wonder Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe is not a superhero, but a movie character.
It's brilliant.
From the 80s that Simon grows up watching. So
looks like a Star Wars movie. Or no, it looks like a
shitty Star Trek.
Or like it looks like Flash Gordon is what it reminds me of.
Yeah. And so they cross paths in the first episode by happenstance.
Happenstance.
End up at the same audition. One hears about a role, or
he hears about it from Trevor.
So that sets things in motion. And then
he sneaks his way in. His agent's like, I can't get you in there, and he just goes. He finds out where it is, and he just goes.
And then at the end of the hook, the cliffhanger at the end of the episode is that Trevor, we see, is in cahoots with the Department of Damage Control.
Stewie.
So he's got an ulterior motive.
Stewie
from Succession makes his return.
He's been in a lot of Marvel things now. He's been in Spider-Man. He's been in Miss Marvel, and now he's been in this. He might have been in something else too that I'm forgetting. He's making his rounds. So it's Department of Damage Control. They're going to be in more stuff. It seems like they're going to be a big player here, I think.
Yeah, and well, to go back to the thing we were talking about earlier about like discourse about how little or how much his powers are used in the show. What enraged me about that discourse is like, not once did it I don't even know technically what his powers are from the show.
Yeah.
There's like something explosive, something to do with energy. He flies at one point.
Fuck yeah.
And I was never once bothered by not knowing what his powers were. And like seeing people cast this show to the side because it doesn't answer that question or it's not comic book faithful. I'm like, we're not watching the same thing. Like
No, they're watching for a different purpose, reason. Yeah, I totally agree. I think that is one of the strengths of this because something you mentioned, the whole show revolves around him having powers. It's not like it's just not being talked about. There's no subtext. Like the whole movie is tense because his powers could go off at any second. Trevor could turn on him at any second. There are these underlying motives that people on their phones watching aren't picking up on those subtexts. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things and nuance going on in conversations that we as the audience are more keen on information that you need to pay attention to make the shit good.
Yeah, I think that's giving the phone viewers too much credit. I think they just want more punch, pow, pow, like
punch,
explosion.
Pow, pow. Yeah, no, I think you're right.
Granted, we have a podcast called Two Dudes Watch Cartoons, but it's such a juvenile way to consume
juvenile media. Fuckers.
More objective. Is he a mutant or not? Like,
okay, you've mentioned it twice. I know you don't care, but hear me out. Whether he's a mutant or not, this does feel, and I guess I'll get into my predictions of Department of Damage Control. This very much does feel like they are setting up the Marvel Universe to be anti-people with powers, which does lead into when mutants start popping up.
Yeah.
People are going to be anti-mutant sentiment. which has always been people's wonder and critique of the MCU is like, how are they going to introduce mutants? How are they going to introduce mutants? I do feel like they're turning the tides there. I do think it's an interesting conversation of whether he's a mutant or not, but I also, at the same time, like you're saying, it doesn't matter. It's not what this is about.
For this, for this show, that doesn't matter. If you're a Marvel fan outside of that, kind of like,
I think it matters a little in the grand scheme of context that if him and Kamala are both mutants, like the X-Men are coming type deal. That's the only greater implication. But as we so delicately pointed out, this is Marvel's spotlight. You don't need to watch this. So there's not going to be any big hints, clues, leading things to the future of the MCU here.
Destin Daniel Cretton is directing Spider-Man 4 Brand New Day.
That's exciting. I'm excited for that.
Sadie Sink.
Bro, don't do it to me. I want to know so badly. I have no idea.
The speculation is...
Go ahead.
Well, what's your theory? Do you have a theory?
The most obvious answer is she's like a Gwen Stacy come in to be a new romance. But how are you going to take the world's most famous redhead at the moment and not make her Jean fucking Grey? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Isn't that the going theory for most of the internet?
I'm going to do spoilers for it's probably one of these answers. So if you don't care to know, don't listen, skip ahead a couple seconds. It's maybe Gwen Stacy. It's maybe Jean Grey. I've been hearing she's going to be some multiverse time travel. Her and him, daughter of Toby and Kristen Dunst. She'll be her name's like May
Parker.
May Parker is her name, and she's a Spider Girl. And so I think it's one of those.
I feel like that would be less interesting to me than
totally agree, because that's a one and done. I want dude, if it's Jean Grey, I will lose my shit. But I'll be honest, does it make a lot of sense to introduce Jean Grey here? I don't know.
All right, now let me turn off my elitist Wonder Man viewer toggle. Have you seen rumors that Jacob Elordi is in talks with Marvel about X-Men? Or like, I've seen,
who would he be?
Fan mock-ups of him as Cyclops.
Yeah, he'd be Cyclops. He'd be a six, dude. If he was Cyclops, I would fucking lose my shit.
All right, that'd be sweet.
That'd be sick, dude. Don't even play. That'd be so sick.
Mm-hmm. I'd be excited about that.
I think they
Sydney
are coming.
Sweeney is Emma Frost.
Yeah, that's the only obvious answer. No, I think the X-Men are coming. The question is it Jean Grey later this year? That feels like too much to me. We'll see.
But again, none of that matters to your enjoyment of Wonder Man, the Disney Plus series.
It shouldn't. Wait, we're going through the highlights. Let's go back to Wonder Man. Let's go through these highlights. So they meet. We find out Trevor, upon coming back to LA to improve his Hollywood career, he is immediately detained by the Department of Damage Control because they're like, dude, you're a terrorist. He's like, no, it was an act, and so what do you think of this gag that has been, it's played out at this point. It is now a serious plot point in everything here. What do you think about this thing of he is an actor that did these terrorist propaganda videos?
It was cute at first and, didn't faze me. I didn't care much for the callbacks to it, but I think there's a payoff in the final episode.
There's a
critical story
payoff that it makes the whole thing so worth it.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the highlights. Throughout the series, he's meeting with Stewie on the sly, who's his
informant.
DDC,
he's got a wire
handler.
On when he's with Simon.
He's got to wear a wire to the birthday party. And so there's mention of the Mandarin. He's this disgraced actor. But the payoff is
everyone knows.
Yeah.
Isn't that the Mandarin?
Yeah. In the penultimate episode, Simon loses control of his powers.
Blows
after
the whole
hours
studio
on set.
When he finds out that Trevor has betrayed him.
And blows up the set with his powers. Department of Damage Control is zeroing in on him, trying to find whoever did this. They suspected Simon, but Ben Kingsley takes the fall, puts out a terrorist, his little memo tape. Look,
his lessons to America.
I am the Mandarin.
This is a lesson to America. He brings that back and he says, I blew it up to show you your Hollywood is a city of lies. It's so brilliant. And then they pull him in and he goes, oh, what happened? You're doing this act again? He goes, didn't you see Trevor Slattery was the act? Chef's kiss, bro. Yeah. So fucking good. Yeah. This is, I mean, I'll be honest, this is the moment of the show for me.
Yeah, it's classic. It's a super bad bromance. They have the betrayal.
Dude. Oh, it's so good.
And then the redemption.
They come back together. He does this for him because he knows he'll never get his dream of working in Hollywood. And Trevor's had his time. And so he becomes really attached to Simon. He becomes a mentor to Simon. He really helps Simon get out of his own way.
Simon is between a rock and a hard spot.
Hard place? Yeah,
hard
rock
place,
and a hard place? Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
He's between a rock and a really difficult choice.
They form an actual friendship.
Yeah.
But he's sort of in this position where he has to be a government informant. And so the betrayal in that episode, when it's revealed to Simon, is palpable.
Simon doesn't have many friends.
And Simon has no friends because of his affliction.
Yeah.
Because of the secrecy around his powers, right? You know, that moment when he loses control
I'm gonna be honest,
his powers.
You just blew my mind. He doesn't have many friends because he's always hiding something. Yeah, his mom was just like, oh, he was a lonely boy growing up. I just kind of thought that's how Simon was. He's always this way because he's hiding something from everyone. Yeah. Oh my God, bro. That hits so much harder too. Fuck. Mm-hmm. Fuck, that's good.
Yeah. But that moment when he loses control of the powers, one of my favorite moments of the show is there's maybe music, but there's no like dialogue or like sound effects going on. It sort of just goes quiet, almost like you're in space or something. You're tracking Yahya Abdul-Mateen's face as his eyes start glowing. He's like trying to do deep breaths. The camera's shaking, and he like
walks through.
Unleashes he walks through set, and everything's shaking, and he just like unleashes this yell. But there's no dialogue. It's silent, and that was such a powerful, creative choice to me.
It was a really good choice because once again, it's not about the action punch sequence. Mm-hmm. This is Simon at his lowest moment. His powers mean something totally different to him than the Hulk, than Captain America, than Thor. We need these looks at people who don't like their powers, who don't want them. That way, when they do, come to terms with them, they end up doing good with them. It means something because he doesn't see this as a gift. It's a curse to him. It's a curse that he hides. It's an affliction, like you said. And you see what happens when he really lets himself go. He's dangerous.
And I'm trying to think of like the story circle, Dan Harmon. So like at this point in the show, he's achieved what he wants. He's crossed the threshold. He landed the big superhero Hollywood role of Wonder Man. So he theoretically has everything he's ever wanted. He's on set. He's calling the shots. He's a major movie star. He's getting profiled by the New York Times. And even this whole episode is a tight wire act. He's afraid the New York Times journalist is going to expose him. And that's his anxiety through the whole thing. And then the reveal at the end is she starts, like the twist at the end is she starts questioning Trevor.
That was so good because Trevor has no care in the world about this woman. He's like, oh, it's going to be great. Trust me. And Simon the whole time is fucking freaking out. He goes to his ex-girlfriend. He thinks his brother's going to say something bad. Maybe even his mother accidentally says something she shouldn't. He goes through the whole thing, and she loves him. This reporter who apparently slaughtered Joseph Gordon-Levitt with the pigeon incident. But Trevor, she's like, tell me more about this Mandarin. It's so good because it's right in our face. And this is what I'm saying about the whole Mandarin storyline. It was played as such a gag, but they take it so seriously now that it has it is a very community thing, where at first it's like a joke, and then it's like, oh, it's a really long joke, and now it's like, oh, this is just a plot point.
Very real implications.
Yeah, this has really big implications on the rest of the world in Hollywood.
Yeah. But yeah, again, like story-wise, he's got everything he wanted. He landed the role. Still feeling this anxiety, and then by the end of the episode, he's lost the one thing he's sort of actually, the one true thing he's thought he had this whole time, which was Trevor's friendship.
Yeah.
And you feel it in, I think it's the next episode where he's like suited up in the costume. He's on set, and he just has to record like these quiet dialogue scenes, and it feels empty. It feels, or he feels empty.
Yeah, it feels empty. I don't have a car at the moment, so I'm getting a lot of things delivered to my house. Marty has made it so easy because not only are they fast and efficient, but they're the cheapest option out there by far.
I get these matcha lattes that retail for like $45 for a 12-pack. And I've never bought it full price. I get it on Marty for $15. Marty's woman-owned, sustainable, socially conscious, and eco-friendly. What they do is they buy up surplus inventory from the top brands that you love, and they sell it to you at a lower price, so you save food waste and you save money.
That was my first question, was how do they get these things so cheap? But they have a model, and it's passing savings on to you. They got hundreds of items, fast shipping, no subscriptions needed, and you can save on all the great food that you love. We do have a discount code when you go to marty.com/2dudeswatchcartoons, all one word.
TWO, dudes watch cartoons.
TWO, 2 dudes watch cartoons, all one word. You can save $5 off your order.
Go to marty.com/2dudeswatchcartoons at our link in bio, or just plug in the promo code 2dudeswatchcartoons. That's TWO, dudes watch cartoons. Thanks for supporting the pod. Go get yourself some delicious snacks. Alex, go figure out the car situation. I don't know what's going on.
I don't need to with Marty.
Back to the episode.
Two dudes watch cartoons.
Obligatory, we have to jump in the middle of our podcast and dedicate time to the doorman episode.
Tell me about the doorman episode. What are your thoughts?
Episodes 1 through 3, they probably mention a total of maybe 3 times the doorman clause. You got to sign the doorman clause. Simon says, I can't get a job because of the doorman clause. They tell the audience nothing about this besides the fact that superhero individuals cannot get jobs in Hollywood because of the doorman clause. Doesn't mean anything to us, really. Brilliant choice, by the way. Episode 4, they take us back. I don't even know. It can't be that long ago, if I'm being honest, which is a hilarious choice. And the flashback is like 5 to 10 years at most.
2013 or 2016 or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that long ago at most. And it's all in black and white. And we follow a doorman at a club who knows Josh Gad. He knows a few people in the industry from being the storeman. He's a really liked doorman. He finds some black ooze behind the alleyway. Gives him superpowers. Once again, classic superhero stuff we're dealing with here. And so, once again, this is all black and white, totally separate episodes.
But is he a mutant?
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. So, his power is he can phase through things himself, and people can phase through him and the wall behind him.
For a second, I thought he might be like Cloak from Cloak and Dagger. But no, I think Doorman is an actual character.
Doorman is a character, but his powers play very similar. You're in the right realm because Cloak can do a lot of the same things. This is very bizarre to me, though. But like an episode of Atlanta where it's like totally off the main beaten story, I'm dialed in. I go, where the fuck is this going? And what's so funny is I don't connect this to the doorman clause right away. It takes me a minute to make the connection back to that. But this episode to me is thrilling. Like, I think this is such a creative choice. And this is definitely one of the episodes that makes me think the executives were like, we got to drop this shit all at once. They're like, this is episode 4. We're going to drop this all at once.
Yeah, I think this is the one that draws the comparison to Atlanta because it is this sort of off the beaten path thing. In like prestige television streaming days, like I'm usually not a fan of when a series just like takes a beat to go explore a random character. Like I don't really love that.
The Leftovers, you don't love a good Matt episode?
Well, I think the ones that take me off are like Master of None. There always be a random episode of like zeroing in on one character.
Sometimes it's cheesy and pointless, but if it has a good point to it, it's good.
Yeah, or like The Bear, a show that I love. By the end of the 4 seasons, they've done like a single episode
solo
on
episodes.
most
Yeah.
on most of the characters. Like, okay,
I fucking
we've
get
hit
it.
that point in the
I
season.
understand
I
it.
fucking
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, I like him. Wow, great. But the doorman is this sort of like parable because this guy gets this superpower. He starts to use it for for
He gets
fame and
famous.
fortune.
Yeah.
Josh Gad plays like an unlikable version of himself, which is
Okay,
fun.
Josh Gad is so funny in this episode. It really
Yeah.
made me like Josh Gad.
And then like the tie-in at the end is so brief. Is just like
Mario Lopez recapping
Mario
what
Lopez
the-
breaking the news, and then it zooms out, and you just see Simon in like on set in scrubs or something on a TV show. He's like freaking out watching this unfold, and he's like, "Oh, this is gonna be a huge liability."
He's like watching it on his phone. He's like, "Damn,
Yeah.
this is gonna change a lot of things."
and then he just walks away. But wacky episode.
Wild, but it's so well done, and it is really good at illustrating the point of sort of Hollywood, like you were talking about. Like they used this man for all he was worth, and then when times were tough, he couldn't get to like for his one trick, his pony show,
Yeah,
and that
his
is
15 minutes.
Yeah,
went
his
up so
15
quick.
minutes of fame. He's like a good representation of like a person who went viral in 2013 and was on Ellen and did had a cameo in a movie, and you know what I mean. And then no one talks about him again.
Yeah.
And so he does his movie with Josh Gad. That's his biggest moment. And I thought it was really funny. The movie's called Cash Grab. It's kind of meta, like
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I feel like the plot of this episode is what the bad version of Wonder Man could have been. It could have just been a guy who exploits his powers for money or whatever.
Yeah.
And deals with, and learns some lessons through it all, through fame and fortune. But like what we get is so much better. But like
Yeah.
they did the bad version of it.
It would almost
in
be like
20
if
minutes.
Simon wanted to be a stunt man. He was like, I could do all my own stunts, and they're like, "Wow, you're crazy, you're invincible." He's like, "I know, yeah," but no, that's not what he wants. He's in it for the craft. He's in it for the art.
There's a really great episode. I think it's the self-tape episode. They end up at Joey Pantel. Is that his real name?
Joey Pants.
Joey
what's his-
Pants's mansion.
Yeah,
It's from The Matrix. I only know him from The Matrix.
crazy cameo.
Yeah. But he also plays an unlikable version of himself. It's just like a sellout. He's rich as opposed to Trevor Slattery.
At one
who's
point, he
this
goes, "If I
struggling
was
actor."
British, they would have knighted me." Then it cuts to Ben
Sir.
Kingsley.
Yeah.
Trevor.
But there's there's not just in this episode, the audition episode at Von Kovac's house. Like there are these really brilliant
Oh, great
moments
episode.
that are like just dedicated to the craft of acting. Like
There's a whole episode with the bad guy from Superman, who's the director, and
yeah.
and he is judging them all and mixing them all. And there's probably like 10 guys for 5 and 5 for the two roles, the two leads, Barnaby and Wonder Man. And the scene that they're doing, oh my god, and it's so meta, it's so good. Is Barnaby is revealing that he is betraying Wonder Man. It's so good. It's so good.
So in the Joey Pants episode, Joey Pants' character is all about like, oh, you can get all this money. He kind of belittles like people who are still doing fun, interesting things for he belittles what Trevor Slattery is doing. And but like he has a very earnest moment. At both of them at the end, they're like, "Fuck you, you're like a douchebag." And like acting is a craft. It's like people, there's like a real reason in an art and a craft to it. And then the audition episode.
Oh, go ahead.
I think that's is that my favorite episode? Probably.
To me, they did such a good job of making this scene so tense and stressful. And because we know how his powers work, I'm just always a little on edge in every scene. And even when they're just acting, and then there's the moment where he fucking
jump scare.
punches the dude through the face. I think that pisses Marvel fans off too. Is one of the only action bits, like the super action bits,
was a fake out.
Was like a fake out. He was like asleep.
Yeah. I think of what I enjoyed so much about the audition episode is that it's like what you were talking about earlier. Like they're doing the scene of Barnaby betraying Wonder Man like over and over, like different partners, and what I love is like, well, you can try this line this way, and then they'll do the scene again with a couple different actors. And one of the things throughout the show is that Simon is so guarded. He can't be like authentic. He can't be in the moment. He can't be like really deliver and get into a character because he is so guarded. And like we have this one moment of a breakthrough where
And
like
he's doing great.
he's doing phenomenal. He's like going off book. They have to like improv scenes.
Yeah.
Like the director throws out different scenes and he really starts living
steals
the
the
scene.
scene. And the director
And it turns out it was like a Pretty Woman monologue or something. And it's like, oh, like I was fooled. I guess I haven't seen Pretty Woman, but like
I haven't seen it in long enough to fully recognize that's what it was. I was like, oh, this is so good. He goes, we're not doing Pretty Woman.
That just blew me away because he slips in so casually that you buy it. Just such great acting.
It is really impressive to be like acting to act. Does that make sense? Like he's acting as Simon, and then he's got to be Simon the character start acting. And the transition and the way they would like you say different lines different ways, it really gave me an appreciation for the smaller things in acting.
Yeah, because Trevor Slattery's advice to him the whole time is like, stop like doing all this prep work. Basically, just like live the character,
be
like
in the moment,
live the material. Yeah, and he has trouble with it throughout the series. Man, it's so good. And like they can. I don't know how they do it. They deliver different, like 5 different flavors of a line.
Yeah.
Every time there's just like, oh, try it this way, and they'll do it, and it's like very noticeably,
that does
like better or different.
How the scene is,
it's fascinating to watch.
It makes you think about things you don't normally think about. But yeah, the audition scene. There's just so many great self-contained episodes. There's the self-tape, the doorman clause, the tape. Then, like I said, the ending just really, it builds upon itself. The tension is there. They have the whole heist where they need to go get the kid with the camera. And then they need to go to the guy's house to get the bike. And then he's selling candy. And someone calls the cops that they're selling drugs. And then he finds out he's got the part. And they're like running out of the house. That shit was fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that. Maybe all TV shows do this, but I love that there's like a very tight A and or B plot in every episode that like it's almost like an episode of It's Always Sunny where it's just like the title card, the gang does this is like the gang does the self tape. Like that's it. And all the drama lives within whatever those small stakes are. Yeah.
It's sometimes a little hard to tell the time difference between episodes. Some like pick up right after the other. Some it's been like a hot sec. You know what I mean? So I always find that interesting. Let's discuss the ending here, and I guess larger implications moving forward.
Another bold choice for just episodes in general. The finale doesn't really do much to deal with the aftermath. Like we skip over.
It does. The premiere. Yeah,
we see the premiere, but there's a time jump? The premiere happens the episode before, maybe?
It might happen in the same episode, the time jump. But there is a time jump. But so we see, either way, just to recap the ending, he makes the movie. They don't know who Barnaby's going to be. He's on a tennis ball. That, to me, also is like so funny, so Hollywood. Is his crowning moment, his moment, and he's just doing it across from a tennis ball, dude. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's like when whoever plays Scarlet Witch, why can't I think of her name? Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Elizabeth Olsen. When she was like, I've never met John Krasinski in my life. Yeah, and it was like, you're in a movie with him.
That's Sir Ian McKellen being sad about
breaking down on the set of The Hobbit.
Acting on a green screen for The Hobbit. I forgot what I was going to say.
But so the Wonder Man movie is a hit. He's a success. He's got a cool red suit. Everyone's, Simon. They love him. They're like, what's next? The director goes, I never do sequels, but if we're going to, and then he pitches a sequel to him. I do think that was leading towards a season 2, but so yeah, we see the fame, we see the thing, and then there is a time jump, and Simon starts, I guess you could say, on his next acting project.
Researching a role.
He's researching a role. Tell me about this. What are your thoughts on this whole thing? We don't need to keep the surprise, I guess, but fun.
He's like, basically, asks this guy if he can like stay with them, research a role. He's like a blue collar guy. You're out in the sticks. You're in a rural area.
Wow, me.
He's keeping a low profile, spending time with his family. And you spend a good 15, 20 minutes.
It's long. They spend a long time on this whole part.
And like you sort of figure out, or at least I had concluded that his end goal was that this guy works for the Department of Damage Control.
Dude, I didn't put it together till they showed me the Department of Damage Control.
Yeah. But,
Dude, this scene was so interesting because he does just like follow him around. They're running. You're like, what the actual fuck is going on several times? It's very, throws you in like the doorman of it all, like to a story that you're just like, what's going on?
But very similar to Watchmen. They like introduce small stakes and then there's like a payoff of how Simon or Yahya Abdul-Mateen, like they hint at how he takes care of the characters after he departs. So like he pays off this guy's medical debt or whatever. Like, because he's about to fuck up this guy's job forever. Like
he's gonna get this guy fired as fuck. And there's money in their account.
There's money in their account, all that stuff.
But so he sneaks into the Department of Damage Control under the guise of shadowing him. And then he fucking ditches his ass and goes and breaks his best friend out of prison with his powers. He fucking rips open the cell with no ease, says, we're friends for life, baby. I don't remember what he says. And then he grabs him, and Trevor looks like such a damsel in distress, just looking up at Yahya like, oh, and then they fucking fly out of there, dude. I want you to know if I had powers, I would do that for you.
Oh, thanks. Break me out of a ICE detention center.
I think what is really great about this scene, though, is while, yes, his powers is what breaks them out of jail, he's got to use that acting, baby.
The payoff is like he's in control of his powers. It's like that's not the point of the scene, but like it's showing his growth. He's in control of his powers. He is not really hiding in the same sense anymore.
I wonder if he's just going to be like, fuck you, I'm a multi-millionaire movie star, you can't arrest me now, damage control? Or I wonder what's going to happen, because there is a season 2 they're working on now.
That's news to me. I did not know that.
Yeah, in my research today, I heard many people say that.
Yeah,
Maybe you can fact check me if you'd like.
Is that rumors?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay, let me look it up.
Yeah, fact check me. Prove me wrong.
I could do without a season 2. Like it's such a pitch perfect ending.
Would you want him to appear in other things? Would you want Wonder Man to show up anywhere else?
I don't think so. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah, you're like, no.
It was such a treat.
It was.
It was such a treat.
It really was.
To like put him in with the rest of the shit
feels wrong.
It tarnishes what this experience
I could see
was.
if they do like a Secret Wars where they're just plucking people out.
Sure,
he could show up, but yeah,
it's like a self-contained.
Yeah,
that's the magic of it. I don't know. Oh man, that's
anywhere,
really
even cameo TV show. You would just want him. Just this is it. These 8 episodes. That's Wonder Man's story.
I want people to be mad. Like they could put Wonder Man in this story. It's like no.
The new Avengers pop up and people are like, where's Wonder Man?
Exactly. But I mean, there are larger questions if we want to look at comic book accuracy, because like Wonder Man, I think it dies or whatever, and then like his like brain scan serves as a template for the Vision. So like there's some sort of tie to like Scarlet Witch. So there's all these weird things. I think he also starts as a supervillain in the comics, but yeah, I really don't think this needs to be involved at all with the Marvel Universe.
That's so funny because I think, hear me out, I don't necessarily need him to be like the number 2 lead in the Spider-Man movie. Like I don't need him popping up and being a big part of this. I think it would be interesting if Secret Wars is kind of what I'm thinking it is. I do think it would be interesting if he shows up and it's like, I'm just an actor. I'm not supposed to be here. Like, you know what I mean? I don't need him in a ton of different things, but I still want him to be a character in the larger universe.
Sure.
Maybe someone's watching the new Wonder Man movie in something. That even is kind of fun to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's a small Easter egg scene where like Wolverine's cameo in Captain America or whatever, where he's just maybe he's reading.
Hold on.
Remember Hugh Jackman in one of the early Captain America movies bumps into him at a bar.
No, that's no. That's First Class.
Is that first? Okay.
That's First Class, dude. No, Captain. No. Dude, that was.
Oh yeah.
You just blew my mind. Yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was the Charles Xavier. Okay.
Yes. It's
like a small moment like
yourself. That. Yeah. Yes, something fun like that. Like
maybe it's the next Avengers movie.
Shang-Chi is gonna go try to recruit him, and he's gonna say him and Trevor are gonna laugh and say, "Get out of my yard."
here's what it is. It's going to cut to him reading a script. Avengers. It's gonna be Wonder Man saying, Avengers, assemble. Zooms out. He's either on set or he's reading a script.
That's good.
And then he's like, Avengers, assemble. And he's
says
like
it
trying it in different ways. And then they, whatever.
Okay,
Stupid.
I like that.
I don't know. There's no way you weave him into a big action set piece where it just
feels natural.
Where it does not do a huge disservice to like what this series is. I don't know. I don't see it.
I understand that take totally. I get that. It would be fun if he stays in the actor realm of it all. So I get that too. Did you find anything on season 2? Was I lying?
On Yahoo Entertainment, it looks like the director, the showrunner, is just dancing around it. I think it's really going to be up to how the audience responds. I don't know how new that is.
Okay. Maybe I'm
only time will tell if it will be.
I do think it relatively was positive. The Rotten Tomatoes score, I think, is really good.
Rotten Tomatoes 91%. So 91 critics out of 100.
Yeah, that's the better way of looking. God, I fucking am so annoyed.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move. I think we've talked about most stuff. Should we move on to our closing thoughts?
Yeah.
Why we decided to just talk about this today? I'm going to start. If I think I started with this, or if I haven't, it's a shame I'm saving it till now. Wonder Man is wonderful. This was such a joy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh.
No, it's okay. This was such a joy that I didn't know I needed in my life. This gave me hope that this, like, if Marvel is like, doot, 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 this was like a, doot, doot, like this, like, oh, like things started to sound a little, the heartbeat sounded a little more normal when this popped up. This is what I've always said is Marvel's biggest strength, is they can touch on many different genres and weave in the superhero story, and this is that at its peak. I think that even if you are a Marvel light fan, like you're not that into Marvel or you haven't watched things post Endgame, I even think you would love this. Like, it's just so fun, it's funny, it's heartfelt, it's sincere. It's needed in a time like this where things are dark and scary sometimes.
Yeah.
It's good to remember the power of friendship and you know, the enemy in this is like anxiety, overthinking, overcoming like your own obstacles.
Yeah.
So
trusting yourself.
Yeah, if you feel like that relates to you, this is the show for you. I honestly, not to glaze, I think I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I loved this start to finish.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree. 5 out of 5 stars. Everything you said and more. Like this, I don't know, maybe I'm misremembering the show, but this feels more like early Heroes, where there's like really grounded, small stakes. Before I get out into all the weird time travel shit. Anyways, I don't even go into that show. But like, this is just a buddy comedy about some actors, and it's really fun and earnest and heartfelt, like you said. The fact that it's a Marvel property is almost a disservice to it. That, like,
Evan said that's the weakest part.
Really, that it would make people hesitate to watch it. Like, people would not take our recommendation seriously because it has the asterisk Marvel.
Are you ready for this? Plop this as an HBO show out of the MCU. People are like, this fucking slaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Its strength is that, like, Marvel's head is so far up his own ass. Like Thunderbolts, I know was good. Mm-hmm. It was okay. It was fine.
It was the best thing of the year that they put out.
Oh, mate.
What else? Name something else.
Fair. No, yeah, but that's not saying much. But like, Wonder Man is like the last, like one of those brief moments of clarity. When you're dealing,
passing away at
when
the end
someone
of life,
is passing,
like,
and at the end of their life,
they finally remember, Evan, I want you to listen to me.
And 1942, the Dodgers won. You know, whatever it is. Like this game, like just that it came with something to say. So well done.
It had a point.
There's no fat to trim in this. Like,
no, it needed all 8 of these episodes.
Not too long, not too short. And expertly acted. I really, just the chemistry between Yahya Abdul-Mateen and Kingsley, it's one for the ages. I hope they're actually like really good friends like that. I would love to watch like a
behind the scenes.
What's the variety actor on actor thing?
Yeah, they should do it as Simon and Trevor. I hope we get that in season 2 when they're definitely making it.
Why are we talking about this show? Because I loved it. I made you watch it, and I was like, I just need to talk to someone about this show. There's no no one gives a shit about talking about Marvel anymore, which is fine by me. But like, that's where we're at with. If you love the comic book movie genre, like no one gives a shit anymore. This is the one bright spot. This is one of the best things Marvel has done.
Yeah.
I'd put this up there with like how I felt watching Superman. Like, this is like all-time Mount Rushmore of
TV
Marvel
shows,
superhero comic book content.
I agree. I agree.
And we love that shit, so we had a detour on our podcast.
They created such a wonderful character. Sorry to do it again. Where it's something fresh. It's a new take. It's real, and I think where we differ is there is such room to grow here. There's such a great story to tell. But if it is self-contained, I won't complain because this was just awesome. And it honestly reminds me, I don't know if you ever watched, but they did like I don't even want to call it a one episode. It's like an hour and some change. It's called like Werewolf by Night. And it's all black and white. And that's pretty wonderful too. And like, I wish they would do more things like that in this.
This one's a bit of a stretch, but it reminds me of early Smallville. When that acting wasn't that great. The stories were not that great. But like the stakes were small. It was about him having to keep his powers concealed.
Yes.
And like for a long time, one of the driving things of the series was like, we're not gonna show him flying. They wavered on that. He's never gonna be wearing a cape. And they mostly did that. But then like by the last 4 or 5 seasons, he was in Metropolis called The Blur, and he wore a red leather jacket with an S. And I was like, okay, what are you holding back at this point? But like they'd gotten to the world building part of that, like that run, and like this is like a micro dose of just like
this is that little scene.
Low stakes.
The low
slice
stakes
of life
is what was so refreshing. Marvel tends to lead to the world's gonna end now, or the multiverse is gonna break, or something. Mm-hmm. This was just low stakes. He wanted this role in this movie that meant a lot to him, and they showed us why, and they showed us the hurdles he had to overcome, and that's just a great classic story.
And you could pull the superheroics out of it, and the substance would still pretty much all be there.
Honestly, this could have been a whole story about how they didn't want to make Wonder Man black, but he was like the best guy for the role because they did race swap him. That's pissing off some MCU. Some MCU bigots.
That's pissing off some fans, I'm sure.
There's a lot of Hydra people in America nowadays, I hear.
Hydra runs the government.
Hydra runs the whole government. So, I think that was good for closing thoughts. I think we can move on. Since we're not releasing episodes on a schedule, we're going to do some long elongated news. So from a while ago, this is probably not news to most of you, but we're going to discuss the teaser trailers that dropped for Avengers Doomsday that comes out this Christmas. Evan, what did you think about these 4 teasers that they released for 4 weeks at the start of Avatar Fire and Ash, which I know you watched all 4 times just to see.
I haven't. Have people watched that? I swear Avatar box office numbers are like the ghost kitchen of movie ratings. Like no one's actually I haven't seen. I don't know anyone that in my life that's like watched it.
I know some fans. Okay, fair. They exist.
Not me.
I know.
I totally forgot. One, I was interested to see that the X-Men teaser was actually because there's all these weird versions of like.
So let me tell you.
There was an AI. There was for sure an AI generated version.
Let me explain what happened then. All of the Disney teasers for these leaked beforehand.
Okay.
Whenever they shipped them out to the movie theater, someone watched them and they leaked them. Disney got lawyers to take those leaks down, but in the age of AI, people created them beat for beat in AI. So you probably saw a weird AI version that was like 99% accurate. So that there's all these like AI and real versions all over the internet now. And it was because they leaked on the internet, Disney took them down, and then people just created them in AI.
Interesting.
Do we root for AI or big corporation here?
No, but the facts... Yeah, man. But the fact that it is almost indistinguishable is not a credit to the AI capabilities. I think it's
a detriment to Marvel.
Of like, that it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what my critique is there, but
these are big spoilers for. We've already talked about the X-Men one. They teased that it had Magneto, it had Charles, it had also 6 Cyclops in it. But that was the third one they released.
Captain
the very
America
first one was they announced Cap is back.
Stupid. I don't know. That pisses me
Why
off.
is this the first one? If they're gonna, why wouldn't they just leave it for the movie? Right? If they're gonna do it, why not just leave it for the movie?
Well,
what is the point of this? Is this an add-on?
As I said, the last dying breath, the last moment of clarity, Wonder Man of a dying franchise.
What's the logic here? Why bring back Robert Downey Jr.? Well, we know it's the nostalgia, but like, why not? Why wasn't Chris on the chairs with everyone else?
Because they wanted to keep a tight lid on
it. But they announced it a whole year early, Evan.
I don't know. Get some kind of I don't know. They need some reveal. I guess they released these over the course of a couple of weeks, but like they're trying to build momentum.
This shouldn't have been released in these teasers. This should have been a movie surprise, in my opinion. It would have been more fun that way. 2, if you are going to release it in these 4 trailers, you release it as the 4th fucking trailer, not the first one. What are you doing leading off with your biggest bullet?
But I mean, they started this with bringing RDJ back as Doom. Like, so if your big reveals for the next big major blockbuster event from this franchise,
just bringing back the 2 you just killed.
Iron Man, Cap, Chris Hemsworth.
Oh God.
Was there?
There's a Thor one. The second one's the Thor teaser, which I'll be honest,
X-Men,
the Thor
which is
one's
another
not bad.
20-year-old franchise.
The X-Men one is all nostalgia bait, and it's not even their franchise.
Yeah.
And then the last one, and I'll be honest, the last one's kind of the weakest one. It's the Wakandans and the Fantastic Four. Well, it's just Ben Grimm.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, they just shake hands. He goes, M'Baku of Wakanda. And then he goes, Ben of Yancey Street, between Broome and for whatever.
I think that would have pissed me off.
That's what I'm saying. They did them backwards.
That's what the Marvel Universe
one.
is now. Yeah, man.
So these teasers.
That's the state of the.
That's the
MCU.
news. That's the news for these teasers.
They're trying to play. They're in their Star Wars phase. They're just playing on nostalgia at this point.
That's all they have, which is so funny because it wasn't even that long ago. When was Endgame?
Yeah.
2018, 19?
2018. Not that long ago, but it feels like forever.
It does feel like
everything
forever
has
ago.
been a slog.
Okay, so that was that's one bit of news. Avengers, excited, sort of, maybe not. Next one, Mario movie. This potentially, they drop a new one. It's called Super Mario Galaxy Movie. They skip over my favorite in the franchise, which is Mario Sunshine. Whatever. Not even going to talk about that. You've seen the teasers. There's Rosalina, there's Space, Tiny Bowser, Baby Bowser, Benny Safdie. What do you think? Just the vibe? You excited for it?
I think it'll be a fun moment. I'm not familiar with the game. I haven't played it.
It's a good game.
But there's speculation from a brief moment in
this
the
is
game.
maybe a spoiler. Some people might not want to hear this. I know where you're going. Some people might not want to hear this though. So if you don't want to,
spoiler alert.
it is
spoiler.
If it's true, because I'll be honest, I've seen the photo and it looks pretty goddamn true. It looks like someone didn't crop properly in the photo and just missed it by a little. But so if you don't want to take a big spoiler for the Mario movie, maybe don't listen. Go ahead.
They left the shoulder, the right side of what appears to be
It's too tall.
a Fox McCloud.
Dude, it looks just like Fox McCloud. And if it is, I'm not going to lie, even if I've been spoiled by this tiny little gun holster and shoulder, I'm going to lose my shit. I love Fox McCloud. And this has such large implications to the Super Smash Bros. Movie, bro.
MCU out.
Dude, MCU out.
NCU in.
That's good. I almost don't want to get my hypes up too much, but the fact that it's a space movie, the fact that like that photo is really damning. Like what else could be like Luigi, but he'd be in a totally weird outfit.
I think I'd be more mad if it was someone who's just dressed like Fox McCloud, like they invented.
It's gonna be like Rosalina or Peach in a different outfit or something.
Space.
Yeah, but
that's what's gonna happen.
It looks so much like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the only news I can think of for the Mario movie. I'm excited for it, though. We really ended up liking the first one a lot more than we thought we would.
For sure. Because here, it doesn't try to be anything it's not. It's just a fun popcorn movie.
Exactly. And if they stick with that, if they bring us fucking Fox McCloud, we're going to love it, dude.
And finally, you sent this one to me.
Oh.
Just yesterday, the day before.
What was it?
Kristen Bell.
Oh, yeah.
It's cast as Amy Rose in the Sonic movie.
Ready for this? I don't know enough about Amy Rose to say if this is good or bad. I'm just going to be honest. I love Kristen Bell, so I'm in.
Fair. I also don't know enough to have an opinion.
I don't know.
I thought I'd have more to say.
I saw Ben Schwartz and her posing a photo, and I was like, hell yeah, I'm sold.
Yeah. I'm
excited for this one, too. The third movie was legit. Once again,
awesome.
not a movie that it's not trying to be something it's not. Video game movies rule the box office.
I hope that'll be the next 20 years of fandom.
Right. And get rid of the MCU, bring in the NCU. That was good. That's all I got, though. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
No? We yapped for a long time.
We yapped a long time about Wonder Man, and then I feel like the mood was soured thinking about
Let's bring it back. Yeah. So Avengers out, Mario movie in. Sonic movie in, but more importantly, Wonder Man is wonderful. That's the key takeaway here. It was such a joy. It's hard to get that amount of joy. I can't think of another MCU project that is nearly as earnest.
Maybe I'm just not watching enough stuff, but I feel like good serialized television is hard. Serialized might not be the right word. Good TV series are hard to come by right now.
You need to watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
That's on my list.
Do it.
Yeah.
Skip them.
But,
skip all the others.
My point is, I've been watching mostly reality TV show, which is fun. Traders is fun.
Traders is
Housewives.
The season's a mess.
I feel like there's not a lot of great TV at the moment.
I feel you.
And so, Wonder Man was a bright spot.
It was. Watch Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
If you enjoyed this episode.
No, that's my line. Yes. Oh my God. Okay, you do it. Let's see if you got it.
I can't deliver it. I don't have my lines remembered.
You enjoyed this episode. We have a ton more that you'll enjoy on Apple, Spotify, and on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're watching, and we always appreciate it as well. I'm sure I'm actually missing something here. It's been years since we've been here.
That's okay.
You guys rock. Thank you for sticking with us. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We will have more soon.
Next up on the docket.
Oh.
One Piece Netflix.
Oh, yeah, it probably is. That is probably going to be next. I'm excited. Yeah.
So
good call.
that comes out March 10th. Queue it up on Netflix or put it on your watch list.
Get it on your watch list. Yeah. Watch season 1.
You know what surprised me?
What?
You know what surprised me? The other day we were looking for stuff to watch with the kiddo on Netflix.
Yeah.
Clicked past it. She goes, "Oh, what about that show? That was kind of fun." It's like I didn't know you retained any. Yeah, Haley said that. It's like, yeah,
yeah. We got to do One Piece, baby, in the house.
It didn't quite catch his attention.
That's okay.
Still a little young, but
that's all right. We'll get there one day.
More Thomas. Okay, all right, yeah.
Thomas the Train is fighting all the devils of the sea, though. So good shit. He'll get there. That'll
do it for this episode of Two Dudes Watch Cartoons. Go watch Wonder Man. Subscribe to the podcast. We're going a slower pace, probably doing one episode a month. But we love you. Thank you for being here. We'll always be watching some shit, and that'll do it. Did I already say it? I don't know.
Yeah, we did it. We've done it all.
See you.